Hi everybody, Russell Markham here from VectorVest. Before we begin there, please note there are licenses. Alright, so we can see all the licenses there. We're licensed under Central Wealth Pty Limited. And the next slide here, just noting there, any advice is general advice, does not consider your personal objectives, financial situations or needs. Alright, please do speak to your financial advisor for any personal advice. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Forecasts and backtests used or discussed in this presentation, which we'll show today, are intended as a guide only, and actual results may be affected by known or unknown risks and uncertainties, and therefore may differ materially from the results ultimately achieved. All right, let's hop into VectorVest. So for this week, what I've done here in Unisearch is I've generated this search here. So let's work through it. All right, so you can set it up quite easily if you like the look of it. And it's all about finding mining stocks. All right, so here we go. So all I've done here to replicate this under parameter, I've gone here and gone stocks, filter by, and I noted industry group. All right, so I'm just going to build this line here over here just to show you. Operator equals, and then in here, selected industries. And what I've done is I've come in here to the materials and I've picked on the mining related materials. So here, aluminium, let's see, construction materials, containers, here are diversified metals, definitely it's mining related, gold, lithium, and precious metals and steel. So there we go. That's how I selected it. All right, so it's up to you. You decide if you agree or don't agree, but you've got the tools there to do that with VectorVest. So I'm concentrating on mining related commodities. All right, so I'll remove that. That's how I did the first one. And then here, stocks, relative safety greater than or equal to 1, right? Okay, so effectively what you do here, stocks, capital appreciation, RS, operator greater than or equal to, and in here, custom value 1. There we go. So find those good financial companies on average. All right, so you're finding those good financial companies, that being a relative safety score of greater than or equal to 1. So they are safer than the typical stock in the VectorVest database, RS greater than or equal to 1. And then what we do is we get into the sort, RT times CI. It's going to find good upward momentum, relative timing, short-term price momentum. So if you're seeing an RT score coming up, it's telling us it's got good momentum. A CI score, a high CI score on a scale of 0 to 2. RT is also on a scale of 0 to 2. CI score, high CI score, tells us it's a stock testing higher and higher highs and resisting severe and or lengthy declines in price. So if you put the two together, you effectively are picking up on momentum. So if you run the search, here we are as of 5 April, and if I quick test, let's say the top 10, and I go back to the start of the year. All right, so here if I were to go back to the start of January, here we go. All right, and in here I'll push OK and run the test. All right, so with the power of hindsight, I'm saying, well, look, looking back in terms of these top ranking mining companies right now, they've made a whopping 50-odd% returns with some phenomenal returns up here at the top. Look at that, CXO 133, GL1 at 126. All right, well, look, with the power of hindsight, sure, these have done really well, but what about going forward? And this is where BackTester becomes your best friend. So the VectorVest power of the backtesting tool allows for us to test and see how things are stacked up, and then we've got a good trading plan going forward. So jumping into BackTester, and to speed things up, I've run a mining stock backtest using that Unisearch. All right, so what I'll do is I'll maximize this up and take off the timing indicator so you can see. So based on the backtesting, you can see here it's around about $100,000. Well, it was 100,000 at the start. There it was, 100,000, and it did quite well to begin with. It went up 25-odd%. It was up around about 125,000 in April, May of 2018. But then it started to slide away. The fears of coronavirus and talk about, less demand for mining commodities and all that type of thing that took place. And then things really started to turn around. So around about here, May, June of 2020, those mining stocks really started to rocket up. supply shortages, the decarbonisation of economies, the movement towards electrification of vehicles, having battery vehicles, the importance of lithium, constraints around the world because of coronavirus, the recent invasion there of Russia into Ukraine, has caused further supply constraints. So there's a narrative out there as to why there are those constraints and the demands on certain mining commodities. So there you go. You can really start to see that taking place April, May of 2020. What I did then is I took that same parameter set and I applied it. I'll show you the rules shortly. I applied it here. Let's just open this up just a tad here. I applied it in May of 2020 and ran it through until the 5th of April 2022. And look at that. Look at those returns there. It's gone up. If I maximize this up over here and just take this off, you can see here again. I've started it at 100,000 and it's gone to 220. So over 100% returns over that time period. And look how smooth it is. The drawdown, the most it's moved up from a peak to trough cycle has been 16% as opposed to 36%. Back from 217 through to the 5th of April. So you can see the volatility started to dry up and the returns have really started to rocket up around about April, May 2020. So I'll show you the settings here, exactly the same settings. So what I've done here is I've used the GLB RT kicker, a middle of the road timing signal as such for Australia. It's not too aggressive, it's not too conservative. A lot of our subscribers make use of this. Automation rules up. There we are. That's the search. We've just shown you how to construct. Stop criteria. 40% gain, 20% loss. Let the winners run and end the losses at 20%. More settings here, 10 positions. And here, don't limit the number of positions in a day. Don't close any open position. You keep adding until you've built up 10. Bearing in mind, of course, your risk and money management rules apply. Best average portfolio value, odd lots, limit repurchases for 30 days. And here I've just said maximum percentage of stock's average volume at 2%. Right, so nothing there for automation rules down or neutral, and that's it. Those were the settings. So the exact same settings were applied for here, 3 January 2017 through to 5 April. Exact same settings applied over here from 4 May 2020 through to the 5th of April 2022. So you can just see we're at a different part of the cycle. So it's interesting when you compare the two, because here, all right, things had sort of bounced up nicely and then faded away and then they took off. Now what I'm doing is I'm just concentrating on that takeoff section. So over here, what I've done now is I've moved into when things started to take off and I'm starting to track that. So here it is. And this is how it's tracking along currently. And you can see the current holdings. All right, so S32, LKE, for example, CAA, all those ones there currently being tracked. So if you like the look of that, then what you can do in VectorVest, of course, is you can click on Convert. So I can say mining stocks May 2022 current, for example. Let's continue from the end of backtest and turn the Portfolio Genius on so we can track this each and every day. So I'll say OK, move it over. And now look at that. I've got it all at my fingertips each and every day. It'll tell me exactly what needs to take place at my fingertips. So as mining continues to boom, we'll keep an eye on the mining stocks using this current risk and money management rule set to see how it performs. And that's the power of VectorVest. You can cash in on certain themes and then construct your type of portfolios and make it really easy and fun to follow. Now, the last thing I'll leave you with there is a few of you might be saying, well, yeah, sure, how did you know about mining stocks? Did you happen to read about it or did VectorVest alert you to it? Well, here's the thing, VectorVest has absolutely alerted me to it. On my homepage, each and every day here, we've got a gadget called Top RT Industries. Look at that. Top performing industries in terms of short-term price momentum, despite a down day just the other day. But the ones that are performing the best in terms of industries at the moment, lithium, aluminium, and steel. How easy is that? So VectorVest has automatically alerted me to the fact that these industries are running hot. If I right click, I can then view stocks in the industry group. And once I load up those stocks, I can then go and discover these are the top performing ones, graph on them, graph them up and load them up, and there we are. Look at that, earnings are rising, beautiful upward trend taking place. So you've got all those tools each and every day there at your fingertips. So for now, hopping back to Backtester, I might want to refine this further until I'm totally satisfied. You know, how do you like the look of that? Can you refine it better? Can you make it look better? I'll look at portfolios here. Do you like the look of this one to track each and every day? Hope you got a lot out of it. Until next week, bye for now.